In this video, we're going to create the Zap that will receive the SMS replies from the people we send them to and then place them back into the Podio item that originally sent the message, so we can keep track of it in our log right here. So let's get on with this. So we click make a Zap. And the first thing we have to do is a Twilio trigger, and we then check for a new SMS, save and continue. Now we have to pick our Twilio account. We'll use this Twilio from the tutorial, test it just to make sure we're good, then we'll save and continue. Now we'll have to edit the template. We have to pick the to number, which will be the number that the text messages were sent to by the seller or whoever is responding to your initial text message. And if we hit the drop down, we should be able to pick the Twilio number. In this case, we should only have one. If you already have a Twilio account, there might be a couple. Just make sure you pick the right one. So we'll select that. And then we want to apply the US prefix. So automatically add 1 to the 10-digit base number. We don't want to do that because remember, back in our Podio SMS app, we are not adding the 1 in front of the phone number. We want the 10-digit only. So we'll make that no. And then we'll continue. So now this is the double check. Make sure you have at least one recent SMS created. Make sure it matches the trigger options you picked below. So let's send an SMS message. This is from the phone number 973-910-1001. It's a Google Voice number. And remember from the past video, we sent a test message saying hello from tutorial. So hi back from seller. This should send it back to our Twilio account, and now we should say fetch and continue. We found that, and we'll continue. Now the next step is we have to format the Twilio number that it's coming from to get the 10 digits only to make sure. So we have to do a formatter by Zapier, and we'll pick a text type field. Save and continue. We basically want to remove all the characters that are within the phone number that sent the item. So we don't want the dashes, we don't want the parentheses with the brackets, and any leading one we don't want either. So on the template, we have to pick a replace. So we'll type that in to find it. Now string replace. And we're going to find the Twilio phone number, which is the from right here. And we need to replace the +1. So we have to find the +1 because we don't want this +1 in here. And we replace it with the blank. So this will remove the +1 and just give us the 10-digit 973-910-1001. We'll continue. Do a test. And looks good. So we'll finish that out. Next, we have to add another formatting because we want to format the date, just like we did with the previous Zap where we were formatting the date that the original SMS was created. We're going to format the date that we got from Twilio saying when we received the SMS. So we have to do a formatter again. And this one will be date time. Save and continue. Now I have to transform by format. Check the input type, which will be selecting the new SMS, one from the Twilio. and we will select the date sent here. Now this gives you the long date sent. We want to format it to custom because they don't have the proper format that I want. So we'll scroll down and say use custom value, which is advanced. So it'll give us an open field to create the customization. So what we are looking for is a month dash day dash year. So 2-digit month, 2-digit day, 4-digit year. And then the hour, colon, minutes is lowercase mms, and then the seconds are lowercase. So now this will give us the format we want. And in the time zone, we want US, or 2 time zone, US Eastern. For me, you can pick whatever time zone you want. Now we're good here, and we'll continue. And here's the example text information. We'll test that out. And that looks perfect. Next, we need to add a step. And this step will be for searching Podio, searching the SMS app in Podio for the item that matches the phone number, that has a phone number that this item was sent from. So we know which item in Podio to then update the log with the new message. So we have to add item, do a Podio, and we have to do a find item right here. Save and continue. Select the Podio account, test it out, make sure we're still connected. Save and continue. Now we'll edit our options. We have to pick the organization of the app that we want to search, the app that we want to search, or the workspace. In my case, it's the wholesaling workspace. The application, which is the SMS that we all should have. Now we're going to search the field. Which field do we want to search in? We want to search in the to field. Now don't worry about this number. It's not the phone number that we're searching like in previous selections. This is actually the field ID. So we don't have to worry about that because Zapier will know it. So we'll select the to field which we want to search. And now what value do we want to search for? We want to search for the formatted phone number field here. So if we select this text, and then the from, then this should be good, and we'll continue. So again, just to review, we're searching the SMS app, and we're searching all items for this phone number. Now you may be thinking, if you have 2 items in the SMS app with the same phone number, this may get a little messed up. It'll just pick the first one it finds. So it's good practice when you're sending SMSs to always use the item, have 1 item per phone number, and then just continue the messaging from that app. If you need to go back and send the message to this person, don't start a new SMS app item for this message. So let's go back to Zapier. All right, we're good. We'll fetch and continue. Just found that item, then the phone number, and this item. So now we're almost there. We have one more step to add, and that is to update this item from the information we got from the text message from Twilio. So let's add a step. Podio again. Select an update item. Save and continue. Pick the Podio account. Save and continue. Now we again have to select the organization and the workspace and the app that we want to update. So in my case, Juggling Investor Organization, workspaces wholesaling, and then the SMS app. Now here we want to add a search step or pick a field. So in this case, the item to be updated will be a custom value, because this is the value that we found in the previous step. This is the item's ID for that. So it says custom value for an item to be updated, item ID. So we have to pick the item ID. So in the fourth step, we have the find item. Expand that and select the item ID field. And now we can go through the fields to update. Again, if we leave a field blank, it will become blank in Podio. So for instance, we're not changing the to field value, but we need to replace that value with the same value. So to do that, we just need to click this, click the found item, find the phone number. So the easiest way to do that, I always forget, is to do the to. Field to value right there under the fourth item, the find item. Okay, now the message, we don't need to update that, that'll stay blank. The action, we don't need to update that, but we'll keep it at listening. Now the last message, we're going to put this text message into this last message field. So like before, we have a couple things. I'll try to type this out for you. So we have a span tab. We can use HTML to kind of format the values that are going into this field through Zapier. So we have a span tab, a span tag. We open and close that. This will be for the this part, the identifier who sent it, because we're going to format it to make it stand out. So we'll call it seller. And for this seller, we want to make it a dark blue. So we say style equals, within the first span tag, styles equals quote, two quotes. Inside the quotes, say color, colon, blue, semicolon. So now this styles this as a blue. Now the next, we want to put the date that it was sent. So we can put two more span tags, opening and a closing. Closing has a / in the front of it. Now within this tag, we want to add the date. So remember we formatted the date and time the way we wanted to in step number 3. So we can come in here, select the step number 3, then select the date format. So we have it here. Additionally, we want to put this in round brackets. And we also want to style this to kind of make it more subdued so it doesn't stand out and get in the way. So we'll put style equals double quotes, and then inside double quotes, call it color, colon, gray, semicolon. And we also want to make it italic. So say font dash style colon italic and then semicolon. So now this formats everything inside that span to be a gray and italic font. Now lastly, we could put a colon here just to kind of separate the seller and the date with the actual body of the message. So we just have to select the body of the message. So this will be from step 1 from Twilio. We'll select body, and then that's how it goes. So that is this step. So this will format basically like this right here, but this will be dark blue and say seller. Okay. Now for the message log, we need to do two things. One, we need to use the same exact format. Put that there, copy and paste. So I basically copied and pasted. And nice of Zapier, it automatically pastes the field tokens here, so we don't have to do anything. One more thing we have to do, however, is if we just did this, we would write over this, and all you'd get is the one message, and it would be exactly like the last message field. What we want to do is preserve this message and then concatenate or add to it the new seller message on the next line. To do that is not too difficult. We'll come to beginning here, add a space or add a return, a new line, and then we have to select this field. We're going to find the current value for there. So we would do, I like to do field because it will bring in all the field values here. So we just find fields message log value. So that's what we want. So we'll get this. And now to create the new line, the next line, we'll add a new line tag. So that's open tag br / close the tag. So this will add a new line, and then we will add this right here, our new message. So that's how this is. The Zap is complete. Now we're going to go and test it out. So say continue. Now it has the sample data from the SMS that was sent here. Hi, back from seller. And then we'll be right here, hi, back from seller. So let's test. So this should send this information to Podio, and we will be able to instantly see if everything's working right. So let's go back to Podio. For some reason, not so much. Okay, sometimes you may have to refresh the screen if Podio has been sitting there too long. It doesn't update for some reason. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, I had to run the update. So that's good for you to see, because then you'll realize what you should try before thinking that it doesn't work. So now you can see we have the seller's message in the last message, hi, back from seller, and also it concatenated and added it to the log. So now you can see that we got a response back from the seller. Hi, back from seller. And we're still listening, and we can see the date. It's today at this time. That is the Zap we are going to create, the Zap for receiving replies from the seller. So let's finish this off. Give it a name. So SMS response. Call tutorials SMS response, and now we'll turn it on to activate it. One thing to consider, you see right here, it says while on, this Zap will automatically check for your Twilio new SMS every 15 minutes. That's important to know, because if I were to come in here and type a new Twilio, type a new response, this is another response from the seller, that won't pick up here right away. It'll take about 15 minutes depending on the cycle it's on. It could take 5 minutes, could take 1 minute, could take the full 15 minutes. But it runs every 15 minutes. So it'll just update automatically, which just shouldn't be a problem, because you won't be actively sitting here waiting for a response. You'll send the response, you'll leave, you'll go someplace else, and then you'll come back and you'll see that a response has been sent. So I'm going to wait for the response. We'll see how long. I'll let you know how long it takes. I'm going to pause the video until we get it back, but then I'll let you know how long it takes. So this took pretty much about the full entire 15 minutes, which is rare. Usually it's been taking me anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes to receive one, but like I said before, it's all timing. So this is how it looks. We got another message from the seller. This is another response from the seller. Perfect, right? Okay, so if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll be glad to answer it, and look for the next video where we're going to set up the Zap where we can then send the message back using this message field and then the send message button. It's very similar to the first Zap, except it's going to be an update trigger. All right, thank you.